Let's bring in Chief Washington anchor and On Balance host, Leland Vitter. Leland, thank you so much for your time. First of all, let's talk about the significance of hearing from Hezbollah's leader today in this public speech.
More like a whimper than a bang. Hassan Nasrallah is supposed to be the leader of this huge organization whose job it is to fight the resistance. And he admitted what the dirty little secret of the Middle East is, which is that nobody wants to die for the Palestinians, most of all him. And he's not willing to risk his fighters' lives to do it. And I think that is for a combination of a couple of reasons. I think Tehran, who controls both Hamas and Hezbollah, has been really surprised by the Israeli reaction. Obviously, October 7th was a moment that the Israelis were caught off guard. But since then, between airstrikes and their ground invasion now, Israel's military achievements have been pretty extraordinary inside the Gaza Strip. And I think that has put Iran back on its heels a little bit. And the proclamations by Israel that if Hezbollah gets involved, Hezbollah will be destroyed. And that's a conflict that the Israelis have been planning for since the last time they went to war with Hezbollah. I think and Israel's threat to kill Syrian President Bashar Assad if Hezbollah gets involved. I think all of that combined, in terms of if you listen to Hassan Nasrallah before, which I have for now going on almost 2 decades, this was a subdued Nasrallah.
All right, so Leland, I want to zero in on something you just said there, that possibly this pushed Iran back on its heels. Could that potentially be more dangerous for everyone involved in this?
I think no. Any time a bully is punched in the nose and bloodied, it's probably a pretty good thing. Prime Minister Netanyahu, at the very outset of this, said that deterrence needed to be restored. And that was sort of a twofold thought. It was a mission statement for Israel, and I think it was a slap in the face to the United States, because typically over the past 30 years, say, since the 1991 Gulf War, the United States has provided deterrence in the Middle East. And Israel had counted on the United States, Democrat or Republican administration, to provide deterrence in the Middle East. Deterrence was lost. And I think what you're seeing now is Iran realizing that Israel, even if they have to go it alone, and even if they're being urged to have humanitarian pauses, will fight back and is capable, I think, in ways that probably Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran didn't necessarily expect. Not only capable militarily, but there was a lot of political division inside Israel leading up to October 7th. They were very focused on domestic political divisions, much like America is right now. And yet Israel completely coalesced. The political divisions all went to the side, and eliminating Hamas became a singular and unifying goal across the political spectrum in Israel. So those things combined, I think, have Iran now recalculating and perhaps in a way looking for a way out of this.
Yeah, you're right. And I think if people hadn't been paying attention, it may come as a surprise to know that there were those political divides, because, again, as you said, you are seeing this unification certainly within Israel. So Leland, I want to get back to this reporting that Hezbollah could be receiving help from Russia's Wagner Group. Obviously, this has yet to be confirmed by the U.S., but if it is true, how significant is it to what's happening right now in the Middle East?
I think it's proof of what we already know, which is that Iran in Syria is very influential, helping Bashar Assad, and Russia in Syria is very helpful to Bashar Assad. Friends of my friends are my friends, and that's what we're seeing between Iran and Russia now. That axis, Iran, Russia, Syria, is certainly very strong and getting stronger. And Hezbollah is helpful in many of those different ways.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.